Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello. We're actually doing a math stream on a math stream day. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, shoot, I nearly forgot. I nearly forgot part of my setup. How could I? Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that's right, I wanted to check something. I wanted to check schedules right. Twitch.tv. All right. Let's see here. So if we go to channel, right. Oop. There we go. Schedule 5:15 p.m. is what it says. All right. So I think we are good. We have scheduled 1 hour of matey times, followed by an indefinite amount of non-mathy times. So that should keep us in where we're supposed to be. Yeah. All right. Excellent. Yes. You're welcome. Okay. We'll give it another minute. Let the viewers roll on in. The only one viewer. It's okay. We'll let the singular viewer roll on in. Yeah, so we're just getting set up here. What is Astronomy Museum? Interesting. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can find. 35 followers. Not bad. We're getting there. We should what we should do is we should just run this now and get that out of the way before we really get started. Excellent. I still need to figure out the pop-up, you have an ad going pop-up, because it's supposed to be happening and it ain't happening. So, it is what it is. But, all right. So that's works for TTS, but why didn't it work on sound? I don't know why that didn't work, but, yeah, so we'll figure it out. Okay. I apologize to those of you who are stuck in a ad break. 2, 1, bam. Okay, we should be good for a while now. Let's do this. Rock and roll. Okay. Welcome on in, and thank you for joining on this, the math stream of math streams. Today we are continuing the project that we were working on before. I think that was on this stream. I don't remember. It was on a stream, and regardless, it's something we're working on. So, what we're doing is continuing our read through of Gleckler et al. Climate model metrics. Anyway, excuse me for having a little sense of showmanship. Jeez. Right. So, what are we looking at? We are looking at, so this paper is just going through and picking out these certain climate models. Hey, Zephyr, how's it going? Hope you're doing good. Just getting started. So yeah, so we're covering what we covered before we move on. So this paper is looking at a few different climate models, right? And then trying to figure out how you compare those models to measure data, given the fact that you have known uncertainties within your model, known uncertainties within measured data. For those of you who've been around for a while, you'll recognize that quandary as one that motivated some of the work in Kalman filters, rather unshockingly, that have similar applications. There we go. Okay. I had to throw this thing out. I have my old mic that doesn't work very well. Put that in here. There we go. So it's not blocking my drawer. Okay. Right. So we have this set of smooth. That was good. That was good. Oh no, I hope I didn't damage that. Oh, please don't. Please say you didn't damage the cable. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I dropped the tablet, and so okay. I think we're back in business. Hold on a second. Yep. Okay, cool. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. Hold on. There we go. Everything is fine. Okay. Now where were we? Right. So so we say we have some set of models that we're trying to figure out. And so you can do the what's called plots. What's these Taylor plots, right? That we had talked about before. So these are the Taylor plots of the different models, right? And how variously effective they are. So again, this is the standard deviation of the this is the standard deviation of the data. This is the standard deviation of the model, right? And then the angle ends up being the correlation between them. Okay, we did that paper earlier for those of you who have been around a little. Okay. Sorry, just gonna move my mouse. Use my mouse if I can find it. There we go. All right. So, all right. So we apply those. Let's see where we're gonna start. As an example that is particularly pertinent to later discussion, Figure 2 shows for several different variables how errors in the simulated mean annual cycle for global domain can be resolved into 5 orthogonal components. 1, the annual mean, or global mean, i.e. the bias, right? So this is so again, we're talking about essentially imitating a curve, right? So if I have, here's the curve I'm trying to imitate. If my imitation looks like this, then it looks pretty close, but if it's down here, then that means I have a negative bias, right? So it's just a constant offset. So that's what it means by bias. 2, the annual mean zonal mean with bias removed. Okay, so once you remove the bias, what's that mean? 3, the annual mean deviations from the mean. So that's on average, it's essentially the standard deviation. You can kind of think of it like this, right? It's your average distance from the average. Right? The annual cycle of zonal mean with annual mean removed. So in other words, again, the annual mean is just kind of a constant. So if I remove the constant that's its local position, it still has a variation and a mean aside from that singular constant. And 5, the annual cycle of deviations from the zonal mean with annual mean removed. So that's just taking this piece and applying it to the removed mean, right? Okay. These are expressed as fractions of the total mean square error. So again, each of these are potential sources of error, right? Ways in which you can be off from your curve, right? You can be off in terms of this offset, right? You could be wrong about the offset. You can be wrong about the variations from the offset. And then you can be wrong about the actual structure of the curve, and you could be wrong about the deviations from the structure of the curve, right? So those are kinds of all the things that he's talking about. These are expressed as fractions of the total mean square error. So mean square error is literally the square of the error between, it's the mean, so the average of the square of the square of the error. There you go. That's the mean square error. Which is, of course, the error is the difference at any one point between the model and the actual measured. That's your error. And are partially accumulated before plotting, so that when the last component is added to the earlier ones, the full error is accounted for, right? So you just combine all these different error sources together. The error associated with the individual components is proportional to the lengths of the shaded segments. This is in figure 2. Okay, so here's what he's talking about, right? So, these are the 5 subtypes of error that are going on, right? And this is what percentage of the error of the TS value comes from each of these subcomponents, right? So you could say, well, most of our error seems to be coming from the annual mean, zonal mean with bias removed. So if I'm trying to fix how my model is functioning, I'm going to focus on the area where I see I have the most error in this measurement, which might be different than the primary source of error in the PR measurement, right? So as I'm building my model, I'm trying to minimize each of these. I mean, ideally, you're minimizing all sources of error, right? This is just a percentage of the error. But you're trying to minimize all sources of the error, but this kind of gives you a guide as to what to focus on first if you have the opportunity to do so. Now, it might not be physically possible for you to do so, or it might not be economically feasible to do so, right? Sometimes, man, you could really push the error down pretty low if you had a sensor every 3 feet. Sure, but who's going to pay for that? Right. So you have to figure out what your operational restrictions are in addition to what your technical restrictions are. The fractions appearing in figure 2 are computed by first averaging over all models of the mean square error components and then accumulating these and finally dividing by the average of all models of the total mean square error. That's literally just a normalized average, right? But they're doing it across all the different models. So in other words, there are 2 different ways. All right, let's say I have model A that's estimating parameter 1, parameter 2, and parameter 3. Then I have model B that's also estimating parameter 1, parameter 2, and parameter 3. There's 2 ways I can split this up. I can look at how well did A figure out 1, 2, and 3, and how well did B figure out 1, 2, and 3? Or I can ask, did I have a lot of error in my third component, my second component, my first component, right? These are 2 different ways I can split this up. And each of these is telling you different things, right? So although splitting it up model versus model might tell you which one is performing the best, it might not be that model A is uniformly performing the best, right? It might be better at 1, but worse at 3, but B is a little bit better at 3, but not enough to compensate for how much better at estimating 1 A is, right? These are just ways in which you approach this. So, each of these are useful ways of kind of cutting up the data that you have in front of you. Okay. So, none of the components dominates, and the error fraction associated with each component depends on the variable. In most cases, none of the components is especially small, except in the case of upper air, 200 HPA, meridional winds, in which case the error associated with the zonal mean is mean component is negligible. Okay, sure. So that's the only one that really that's what this, right? This is a pretty small little section there, so that's pretty negligible. But otherwise, none of them really drop out. Note that the 500 HPA geopotential height bias contributes a noticeably higher fraction of the total error than other fields displayed in Figure 2. It is clear from Figure 2 that for most variables considered, more than a quarter, and in some case, and in the case of precipitation, more than half of the mean square error is associated with the annual cycle, with the annual mean removed, right? So what that's saying is a good majority of where this error. Hey, Utensil. By the way, I chucked a Discord friend invite your way on my other Discord it's under Stambo. So if you see that was me. Yeah. So anyway, we're just continuing the paper that we were working on before. That's kind of how do you cut up different types of models, right? So you're trying to figure out, trying to guess. Ideally, you're trying to guess in the future. You're not trying to nowcast. You're trying to forecast what's going to happen with these environmental variables. In this case, he's talking about weather conditions, right? Huh. Weird. I wonder if I got the name wrong. I'll try it again. I might have inverted the name in the I'll try it again. Right. So yeah, so you're trying to forecast, and you can make these models that are going to forecast what is going on, and the models are all going to be wrong, right? That's the saying, all models are wrong, some models are useful. So the question is, how useful are these models that we know are wrong? Or how wrong are each of these models? And the models can be wrong about different things in different ways, right? And so we're just talking about how we're slicing up the ways that the models can be right or wrong, right? And then trying to cross compare them. All right. So it is clear from Figure 2 that for most of the variables, right? Thus, it would likely be misleading to judge models solely on their ability to simulate annual mean climate, unless the errors in the annual mean were strongly correlated across models with the error of the annual cycle. So in other words, we have one thing that's kind of dominating our errors here. I think it's this one. Yeah. Right? This thing is tending to dominate the errors for the most part. So unless you can remember, you can't just like subtract these out, right? These are actual error terms. So these are uncertainty boundaries, essentially. You could think of it like that, right? So we don't necessarily know how each of them is going to be off in advance, right? We can look back at our estimates and try and judge that way. But unless we can start correlating, saying, oh, when this you know, when this value was at this rate, then we tended to see this error. So then we can try and sort of correct for it. So unless you can do that, you have no way of minimizing that error. That's what he's saying. Okay. So global model performance, or I'm sorry, relative model performance. So now how well do these models compare against each other? Global scale observationally based estimates exist for many of the quantities that are shown in figures 1 and 2. In what follows, we make use of all the observations based on data given in table 2, calculating the root mean squared of the error, which of course is exactly what it sounds like. It is the square root of the mean of the error squared. Root mean squared error for each of the models, using our primary R1 and alternate R2 references. Sure. Using both references for each variable, we therefore have twice as many RMS error values as available in available models, because you're comparing each of those models against 2 references. So that means you have 2 error sets. Rando. All right, let me give it another try while we're here, so I can make it work. Make it work. Okay. We want to France. Pending. All right, so we can delete that, and then we can search for. Okay. So here's what I'm searching for: is RANDO underscore. Is that correct? All right, knowing that, and it could be found. Okay, let's try PROFRANDOM. Let's see. Wait, oh, there we go. That'd be why I was looking at the wrong thing. PROFRANDOM. All right, I sent a friend's request to Prof Random. So let me know if you get that. And yeah, it'd be really cool to I have vague plans of trying to do sort of lectures in VR chat. Yeah, no worries. Let me know if that didn't work. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so I've plans to, I'd like to try and do lectures in VR chat, which I think would be really cool. The mechanics of that are more difficult than you would expect. But all right. Okay, we can use the median. Okay, so right, so we said I appreciate that, and I hope to have the opportunity for that in VR chat. Okay, where are we? For a given field F, right? So we said we have twice as many RMS because we're looking at 2 different things, right? So for a given field F and reference R, we define a, quote, typical model error as the median of our n RMS error calculation. So in other words, in what we're looking at, right, is we're looking at, like, say we have, here's our data, and here's our estimates. Right? For example, so then our error term is literally this distance here. Right? That was pretty close on, right? Pretty spot on there. All right. Oh, you did get it. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Right. So we're taking the root mean square of the error we define, right? And that's what we're defining as a quote typical model error, E bar sub f, as the median of our NRMS error calculation, right? So we take the median of the root mean squared of all of these, and there you go. We use the median rather than the mean value to guard against the models with unusually large error, outliers, unduly influencing results. So that's usually the benefit of the median, right? The mean is the average, but the average can be greatly swayed by outliers, and the median is much more stable in the face of outliers. So for a lot of these kinds of data sets where you can end up with, errors all over the place, right? And maybe you're looking at this in between them, you sort of tend to use the median a lot to remove some of that variability. Okay, we then define a relative error, E prime, for a given model M in the field F, and reference set R as the relative error is the error for field M. Let me see, is this how visible is this? Yeah, you can kind of see it. The error for field M for model M, field F, reference R, that's what this is, minus the mean, or the expected error. You could think of it like that, right? Or the median error, whatever you want to call it, divided by the median error. Okay, so this is a fairly typical. I'll do one more snooze. I'll do one more snooze. Okay. So this is kind of a typical way of looking at it, right? You're looking at the difference between the median and your point, right? You're looking at this error and dividing by the median value. And that's exactly what you're doing, right? You're looking at the delta between the measured E and the expected E. If you don't divide out, it's not going to be normalized, right? So, you can do that, but then you don't know, because this is giving you think of it like this, right? It's giving you the ratio of this distance to, say, here's your 0 to this distance. That's the ratio that you're looking at, right? So it's telling you how far it's giving you a view of how kind of narrow this curve is. So it's giving you that ratio. Okay. So normalizing the RMS calculations in this way yields to a measure of how well a given model with respect to a particular reference data set compares with the typical model error. So again, the typical model error is just the errors across all the models, right? So you're just, I don't know why he's going through this in this way. This is a little weird, but think of it like this. You take the average of all the errors of all your models, and you figure out how far from the average you are. That's what you're doing, right? You're figuring, you say, well, this error is further away than that error. So it's a very complicated way of saying you're kind of taking the average of your delta from the average. Kind of. Okay. For example, if the relative error has a value of 0.2, then your model's root mean squared error is 20% smaller than the typical model. Conversely, if E prime MFR is... Oh, I'm sorry. That was my bad. I didn't read that correctly. If it's negative 0.2, then your model's RMS error is 20% smaller. If it's positive 0.2, then your model's error is 20% greater. Yeah, right. It's you're trying to reassess, compare how these models are going with respect to each other, right? Because again, the two things you care about are that is exactly what I would be doing in front of a whiteboard right now. So essentially what you're doing is you're trying to compare which of these models is working better. That's all you're doing, right? You're looking at the comparative error and saying, this model has less error than the median of the models, and this model has more error than the median of the models. Sure, I mean, I can see how it could be useful, but it seems very convoluted. But anyway, figures 3A through 3F, we provide a summary of the model's relative error using portrait diagrams in which the different colors indicate the size of the errors. These portraits are arranged in such that the rows are labeled by the variable name and the columns by the name of the model. So let's go find this. Here we go. So this is what this is. These colorful plots are, right? So you're comparing. These are the specific. Yeah, right. So these rows are each of the specific variables that the model is estimating, right? So it might be estimating rainfall. That's a whole lot of color. See, I like colorful diagrams because I think you can start getting patterns out of these. I've been told I have too much of a love of these sort of colorful diagrams because they get difficult to parse out what's going on, but I don't know. I kind of like them. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Each of the columns is a different estimate, right? It's a different model, and each of the rows is the thing that it's modeling, right? So maybe you're modeling, I forget what all these are. One of these is pressure at, or not pressure, is dew point at whatever altitude, right? These altitude numbers. And so you're saying, all right, this model over here was about I'd say between 15 and 20% worse than most of the models, right? But that model was but this model over here is much better, right? That model is above 0.5. It's in the upper, the upper end of the models, right? It's doing 50% better than the average model does. Right? So like this model and this model look pretty bad. This model over here looks pretty good. This one's okay. This one's okay, right? You could start doing these kinds of things. This one also looks pretty good. I don't know why they're cut like this. No, see that? I wonder. That's weird. Anyway. So the point being, you can make these giant fancy pants plots that kind of give you the relative effect of them. I'm gonna see if I can pull one up that I made, which was slightly different. But similar. Slightly different, but similar. Where's it gonna be? Oh, geez. Where's the standalone image? Oh, I thought I had it here somewhere. Yeah, you just not print. Nope. I mean, it's not quite this fancy. Affit docs, research docs, deer and deer. And then we're going to look in, oh geez. Nope, nothing there. In here. perhaps somewhere in my file setup. That's not it. It's in here somewhere. Nope, not bar plots. Those are bar plots. Well, I will find this when the ad starts in a minute and a half. So rather than waste our time. Okay. So each square is split by a diagonal in order to show the relative error, oopsies, with respect to the primary and the alternate reference data set. Okay. This is called having too much information in a plot. That's what this is called. Don't do this. I mean, look, you're presenting a lot of information here clearly, right? But setting this up in this way has too much data condensed into too many different things, and so it's really hard to actually look at this plot. Like if he was just doing the color kind of coordination that I sort of told you about before, where you're like, well, this model seems to be doing pretty good. That's fine. But when you now have, oh, well, each of these squares is actually two different squares and measuring different things, it's too much. Don't do this. Oh, man. Anyway, all right. So, all right, so ad starting, so I'm gonna go back to trying to find this bloody thing. Oh, I wonder if it's there. Oh, oops. Oh, are you in here? 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 Ooh, you might be in here. Occupancy stability score, heat maps. Is it this? Well, that's kind of an example. It's not really what I was looking for there. Let's see. Accuracy, stability scores. No, let's close. It's very similar. I'm looking for yeah, extra large. No, not these kinds of things. No, I've got some Taylor plots. Meta-analysis, maybe in here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we can kind of look at one of these. I don't know what this is, but whatever, we'll copy this and paste it. Okay. Close enough. So I'm looking at a similar kind of thing, right? Where I'm seeing how I'm looking at different models. So I'm looking at different types of models, right? And I'm looking at how well a model that was trained on one data set works on the other data set, right? So what I'm doing is I'm comparing the internal, you could think of it like this. There's a model that's internally developed for each of these three data sets, right? And so obviously the internal model is going to be better than the external model because it was trained on all the data that's actually there, right? And these data sets are slightly off from each other. But the question is, are any of these better? Yes. Shoot with a question. All right, while you're formulating the question, right, so I'm looking at how much worse the model based on this data set is when it looks at this data set compared to the model that was based in this data set, right? And so I can start looking and saying, well, that's really bad, right? So there's something, if you notice, every time we've got this PRV here, things go a little wonky. BLO on KF works pretty well. KF on BLO works pretty well. So these two like each other, but there's something about PRV that's a little weird. So something about that data set is off. Yes, it does. Okay. Give it a second. There it goes. Right. So this is a similar kind of thing, right? I'm comparing the difference in errors between different types of models in the same kind of way, right? Now it would be interesting to apply. I haven't used his like relative error setup exactly, although I've done stuff close to it. But the point being that you tend to run into this problem a lot, right? Especially with these sort of complicated systems that you're trying to predict how these systems are working, and certain types of models work better at certain aspects of it than other types, and you have to pick which one you want to use because often you can't use all of them, right? Some of them are, you know, it require too much computational time or whatever it is, right? Okay. So variables are loosely okay. Variable rows are loosely organized by surface field. Okay, sure. Yep. So these are in different groups. Shades of blue indicate where the model fares better than typical model. And red the contrary. Oh, I had it inverted as I was looking at it, so that should tell you potential issue with this kind of thing, right? It's very easy to invert the which is good and which is bad, right? If you had, say, plots versus each other, it's pretty easy to tell that this one's on top. Yeah, no worries. So anyway, for the surface fluxes, our results are based only on the centered RMS error, i.e. the overall mean bias, because the observed did not mean to do that. Large scale patterns of these fields are thought to be more accurate than their absolute magnitudes. So, it's easier to guess the patterns than it is to guess exactly how good. So, it's easier to guess that it's going to rain at this time of year than it is to guess how much it's going to rain at this time of year. Put it that way, right? So you can get the pattern right, but the magnitude can be difficult to do. Right. Relative error calculations for the global domain are shown in figure 3 for annual. Okay, that's the shiny one down there. for A, the annual cycle of full spatial pattern, B, the annual cycle of zonal means, and C, the annual cycle of deviations from the zonal mean. So again, just different, he's looking at different portions of the error, right? The different ways. Okay, we didn't really cover much, right? So just that the shiny plots are looking at those same different types of errors, that right, that's the reason why there are so many of these plots. There are 3 of these plots, right? So he took 3 of these 5 error types and set them up in this shiny colorful plot. Anyway, okay. An obvious feature in all panels of Figure 3 is that for virtually all variables, both the mean and the median model fields are in better agreement with observation than the typical model. In most cases, the mean and median models score the best. This has been noted in other model comparisons, but stands out rather strikingly across the broader spectrum of fields and regions examined here. This favorable characteristic of the multi-model ensemble may in part be due to smoothing of higher frequency and smaller scale features, but is almost entirely not the full explanation. In other words, when you start combining all of these models, that's what these two are, you get better results. Why? So, I mean, he kind of talked about it. Some of the errors are random errors. So when you start, if you take the mean or the median across random errors, it tends to cancel out, right? Like if you take white noise over time, cancels out. So that might be one reason. But what he's saying is, there probably are other reasons, but that's the one he's pointing to. That's kind of the obvious one, is that each of these is wrong in different ways about different things, but the ways in which they're wrong are relatively random, right? So they're not all biased in the same way about the same error. So because of that, they tend to cancel each other out. In general, when you talk about things on a statistical level, that happens quite a lot. So what that says is, you know, if you have the opportunity, use all the models and then take their mean and median together, right? One exception to the use of the multi-model superiority in Figure 3A is that temperature at 200 HPA, where several models, notably the GFDL CM 2.1, have a noticeably smaller RMS in both the mean and the median models. Most atmospheric models continue to have cold bias at high latitude, blah, 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 right? So in other words, there are outliers to this thing, right? If one model is exceptionally good at one thing, that might stand out as being better than the mean. So maybe if you're doing that model anyway to get this mean and median, you might as well then insert the answer for the temperature at 200 HPA altitude instead of your mean and median, because it's more likely to be correct. Because this error is prevalent, although not universal, is reflected in both the mean and median. Okay. In newer generations GDFL models, this persistent and common error has been reduced. Errors in the annual cycle climatology can be resolved into 2 components. 1, the annual cycle of zonal means, and 2, the annual cycle of deviation from the zonal mean. So again, you're looking at 2 different things, right? Anytime you're looking at these sorts of things, there are 2 main areas of focus. One is, where is your curve with respect to 0? And the other is, hey, Toasty. The other is, how far away from this median or this mean do you tend to stray, right? Those are, in general, the 2 things that tell you what the error is, right? So those are the 2 things they're going to look at. I hope you're doing well, Toast. These figures also show that the relative error in the mean and median fields are again smaller than the errors in the individual fields. This perhaps even more evident in deviations from the zonal mean. No, okay, right. So in other words, in general, for most of these things, again, we don't care about the specifics of these models, right? We're not doing climatology of Brazil, I think this was. But just we're trying to look at it writ large as to how do we apply these concepts onto different models, right? How do you evaluate the different models versus each other? And so these are all the specifics of the things we don't really care about, but it's just trying to show how that relative error metric works. Okay. For many other fields, however, there are notable differences. For example, it's not unusual for models relative error to show precipitation. Okay, again, he's going through the specifics of this that we don't really care. All right. The sensitivity metrics to analysis choice. This is something else that I'm interested in, right? So you have accuracy and cool. I am like, today was a day, but I got stuff done, and I am riding on the adrenaline high right now. So we're taking that and we're inserting that as solidly as possible into this paper. And after this, we'll do something else. Yeah. So I want to get at least through this one section, because this is, again, we can skip over where he does the specifics because we don't really care about these specific models that he's looking at, but we do care about how he's evaluating the models. So that's what we want to take a peek at. So one of our objectives is to develop metrics that summarize model performance in a way that is both concise and reasonably complete. That's fair, right? Should be easy to understand. It went well. I have some more changes to do. I have some more other stuff to do, but slides are in a decent place. At least for where they should be right now. Theoretically, where they should have been like 2 weeks ago, but that's fine. They're fine. Everything's fine. To a certain extent, this has been achieved in figure 3A, right? So in the colorful ones where everything is shiny and colorful, where the large scale characteristics of the simulated analysis cycles have been distilled down to several hundred statistical quantities. So again, that's the pretty pictures up here, where you're able to sort of combine all of these different metrics and descriptions into these colors, right? And so you're doing that to try and take a whole lot of different information and cram it together. As I said, I think he goes too far with it in that particular case, but that's just me. Even so, one wonders whether a portrait contains unnecessary detail or whether, in fact, some of the information is redundant. That's an interesting point. How do you tell if something's redundant? If you have two different variables that are very correlated, so they co-vary very strongly, do you need both of those? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you can just take the structure that's coming from one of those variables and apply it to the rest, to the other one, right? Because they're closely tied together, so they should, they're in relative lockstep, so that should be fine. But how do you do that? How do you evaluate for that? One way to determine whether the individual metrics are each providing independent information is to plot the performance metrics of one variable against the performance metrics of another. This is something else I've tried to do. We'll see how this compares to what I did. Two extreme cases are shown in the scatter plots in figure 4, which shows the relationship between errors in simulating two different pairs of variables. Figure 4a, the relative variables are compared for global comparison, for global precipitation and outgoing long-wave radiation, there's clearly a strong relationship, R equals 0.92, between how well the models simulate precipitation and outgoing long-wave radiation. All right, so let's look at this figure that he's talking about. Come on. Okay. Precipitation. Okay, relative errors for each taken from 3A. A, precipitation versus outgoing long wave radiation, and B, HPA versus... Okay, so this is the error in one variable. This is the error in the other variable. If they were precisely tied together, they'd all be on the one-to-one curve, right? But all in all, these are pretty close, right? These are pretty close to that one-to-one curve. These guys are not at all close to the one-to-one curve. So these tend to co-vary, right? So as one of them is moving, that means the other one tends to be moving in a similar way, right? And again, if it was one-to-one, that would mean they're all exactly in lockstep. Whereas these do not have such a correlation in their variance. Okay. Contrasting example is shown in figure 4b, which indicates almost no relationship between how well a model simulates geopotential height and mean sea pressure, right? So what that's telling you physically, right, is that the physical drivers of this are very different than the physical drivers of this, right? So you definitely have to take into account both of these in your model, because you're not gonna accidentally take into account all of these by just taking into account this, because they're completely independent from each other. A more comprehensive summary of the relationship between errors in simulating various pairs of variables is provided in figure 5a. Here we examine how the ranking of models based on RMS error depends on the variable considered. Figure 5a shows for each pair of variables how much the ranking of the model typically changes in an absolute sense, depending on whether the variable ranking is ranking based. The typical change of the average across all models of the absolute change in ranking. Okay, so typical change is the average across all models of the absolute change in ranking. For a pair of variables shown in figure 4a, okay, the average difference in ranking is 3 out of 24 models, whereas the geopotential height and mean sea level pressure is 6. In more than 90% of the cases, jump in 2 model positions is at least 4. Okay, so in other words, let's take a look at what he said. All right, so this is the next figure. So let's see if we can make heads or tails of it. Is he just doing a correlation plot? This just looks like a correlation plot to me. Why aren't you just doing a normal correlation plot? Why are you doing it this way? The average absolute change in model ranking, variable by variable, and the annual cycle versus the mean. So this is essentially telling you how much each of these is varying when you compare the mean to the variations in it. And this is telling you the absolute of how much they're varying with respect to each other. But I don't get it. I don't get why he's doing this approach. Why not literally just do a correlation matrix and you get the same information? And it's like more of a standard method. I mean, the rank score. So this is kind of a Spearman coefficient, right? Because it's the rank structuring and then moving the ranks. Anyway, I don't know why he's going about it in this way. This is a very weird way of doing things, if you ask me. Okay. I think we could probably skip over most of the. Okay, we're reduced sets. Make sure requires careful consideration to effect. All right, we want to figure out what the final metrics are that he's using. Okay. Let's see, what time is it? We are just at about an hour, so I think this is a good place to call it for today. So what have we gotten out of this? Let's do a little bit of a revision, right? Or a little bit of an overview. Really the big tool that he came up with is this relative error piece. Right? Where you compare the error of one to the error of to the median error of all the models, right? So so that's useful. I would be interested to apply that to what I've been doing. I think that could be potentially helpful. I'm also interested to see where he goes with this sensitivity analysis. I think he might be able to pull something out of there. These are kind of neat plots. I like these. Again, why he doesn't do a correlation matrix, I have no idea. That's much more standard, or even a covariance matrix, right, would be more standard way of doing it. I have no idea why he's doing this. You see, what I like about your discussion is how you present that positive processes of self-understanding, humility, including understanding the models are always wrong, but none of the most useful. All good stuff. Okay, looking at community of models. Yeah, right, because you're always trying to play this game of minimizing error for the thing you're looking at, right? And all of your errors all of your models are going to be better at certain things than other models. And it might be the math behind it. It might be the available data that's able to use. So, for example, I might be trying to estimate temperature, say, right? And I have one model that is physically, so like the math behind it is physically very, very good, but my data input into it is very inconsistent. And then I have another model that's not as good in the math. You know, it's a little more variable in the math, but I have better data to support it, right? Because it's looking at different data sets to produce the output. So, which is better? The one that I know the math isn't as physically relevant, or the one that has better math but the data isn't as good, right? I could start asking these questions. And so this is a large part of kind of the scientific endeavor, is figuring out, how do you know how good all of your models are, and how do you know how bad they are? And this is why, if you talk to a real scientist, they will be very, very, very cagey about telling you what they know. They'll always put it in with qualifications of, we know fairly well, or we have a decent idea that X, Y, Z, right? Or because of this, we're fairly sure that our estimate of this is good. Those kinds of things, especially if you start talking like cosmology or these sorts of things. A good scientist will always be very, very cagey about telling you precise things that we know, because you're constantly dealing with errors. Even the things that you know best, you know there are errors in your measurement somewhere. And so then you have to try and, then if you want to take a further step and be like, okay, I want to make a new theory about what's going on, now you have to go in and say, okay, how much of the error that I'm seeing between what I expect and what I actually observe comes from the error in the model? How much is coming from the error in the measurement? And how much is coming from the error of the theory that's tying the measurements into, that's building the model, right? So you're putting that model on, layering that on top of the theory that's telling you physically what's going on with these measurements. And so maybe that theory is wrong. Maybe that's where incorrect modeling is coming from, right? So trying to locate the source of your error is very important and very difficult. And so that's why you go through these ridiculous papers like this, where you try and find ways of teasing out some of this information. Yeah. So, yeah, so I think that is where we will call this. In fact, sorry, there's a whole area of mathematics and science that's devoted literally to just this type of analysis. There are whole university departments that are devoted to this. Yeah, absolutely, right? Because we're always working with stochastic things, right? We always know that there are errors in our observations. We always know there are errors in our estimates. We always know, right? And this goes everything to including how you go through the day, right? And the things you do every day and the ways in which your senses operate. There are always errors. So if you understand that you're spending lots of your life overlapping error measurements and trying to guess the answer, this is something your brain does all the time, right? Subconsciously. This is why you end up with incorrectly seeing a face in the bushes or something, right? It's overlaying all of this different information where there's all these errors, and it's kind of trying to make a guess at what's there, and it's biased in a certain way, right? It's biased to see faces versus not see faces. So anyway, but yeah, so this is something that's constantly going on in your head, even though you're not necessarily directly aware of it and in control of it. But this is constantly occurring. So what that means when you're thinking through how you approach things, it's always good to be humble and to take that into account as you're trying to go. It's also important. The other error I will say that people make about this is that they'll say, I have uncertainty about X, therefore that, because I have uncertainty, let's say, I have uncertainty about if Bigfoot is real. Therefore, that means Bigfoot's real, right? Because the mysterious thing must be true if I have error. No, the error says you can't say anything about it, right? We have a very bad tendency of trying to reduce error down by saying, oh, we don't know, therefore the answer is this. No, we don't know means we don't know. You know, we don't know how, we do know how the pyramids were made, but just, for example, from the History Channel, we don't know how the pyramids were made, therefore aliens. That doesn't make any sense, right? If you don't know, then why are you saying aliens? Right, but you'll see this logic come up all the time. Anyway, yeah, no, different type of modeling. Yeah. I will pitch the book, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, which talks about people who have neurological problems. Yeah, good book. They have neurological problems that affects their ability to essentially implement these models, right? Which is taking the data input and converting that into an estimate of what's actually going on, right? So your brain is constantly taking in all of this data and turning it into a picture of the world around you. As an example, your eyes are constantly moving, right? You don't feel like your eyes are constantly moving, but your eyes are constantly moving because you have a blind spot in the center of your eye. And so by jiggling around a bunch, it can kind of fill in that blind spot a lot. These are the kinds of things your brain is doing all the time. So what happens when those mechanisms break down? And so the neuropathology that's described in that book is very interesting for that exact kind of reason. Anyway. Yes. So for those of you who are here for the math and physics, this is where we are going to transition into something different. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll go into playing some games or maybe some art or something. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so all right, I'll see you, Zephyr. Yep. Thank you for coming in for this part of the stream. Yeah, so we're going to transition to something different. For those of you who are here for the math, thank you so much for coming in. You can stick around or feel free to run off as you wish. And for those who wish to stick around for other shenanigans, that will be in order in a few minutes. I am going to take a quick break. The ads are coming up anyway in a minute, so this is a good time. I'm going to put up a BRB, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna play next. Okay, so you, and now we want to put in. Well, first off, I'm going to hide that, and then I'm gonna add text. There we go. Okay. Back. Right back. Okay. And there we go. Blammo. Blow. All right. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Okay. We're back. We're back for more craziness. All right. Let's get rid of the text. Now then. Oops. I feel like I should have a drink for this part. We have thoroughly crammed stuff into our brains, and now it is time to scrub them clean. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, man. Nice. Gotta get my blanket over my shoulders. Beautiful. Oh, yes. Excellent. So, the question is, with what do we do said scrubbing? What will be our brush? Awesome. Oh, enjoy dinner. Minesweeper. Oh, God. You know how to play Minesweeper. Have a wonderful dinner, Toast. That is a hell of a scrub brush. I'll give it that. Anyway. What was I doing with life? Right. Why don't we start with some Diablo 2 and then go more brainless from there. So we want to start that, and then we need to go to OBS and open OBS. Lakadisha, and yeah. All right, Empire's here. That is. We have game audio. Will we have game audio duplicated? Interesting. Okay. Let's go like this. And then we're gonna go with somewhere here is my hello. Oh, this is a set display capture. I don't want to do that. Let's go to this one. All right, there we go. Now, why am I? Wowza. Oh, right, because we were messing around with that. I forgot. Theoretically. Hello, yes. I also need to switch up my dude. Come here, Baron. There we go. Excellent. We got the proper Baron. Now we just have to get the game to show itself. No. Why is it display device? I don't care about display device. I want game capture. Game capture is set to... Oh. That would help. Why is chat off? Oh, yeah, we got it. It only took me, like, way too long, but, we are back in business, boys. Let's, let's go slash some random creatures with a floating knife. Play. Okay. Now. There we are. Excellent. Leroy. And then we want Echoing Strike. kinda, yeah, okay. What were we doing? What the hell were we doing? We just were going out into the desert, right. Well, let me first talk to...
Oh. I have heard of your...
Yeah, blah, 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 okay. He gives me... Right, he gives me the last quest to find Tal Rasha's tomb. Tal Rasha, of course, being the... sage that took whatever demon into his self to guard it, which is always a good idea. I would highly advise taking prime evils into yourself to trap them. Nothing can ever go bad from such an action. Ooh. I hate those guys. I hate those guys. Oh. Yeah, you flappy little zappers. And they drop nothing. Nada. Rien. Pas du... Oh, we need to go this way. We need to get out of here. Back up to the desert. Oh, freaking crap. Arena, dude. Go away. Ugh. There you go. Scroll identify as usual. Actually dropped some that time. And this is the way up. So have we not gone down? Oh no, this is... yeah. Never mind. Don't mind me. I'm just being stupid. Alright, anything over here to kill? No, just some traps. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, why can't you kick this one? Weird. It doesn't reach there. If it doesn't... Why will you throw it if it can't reach? That's so weird. So weird. Small charm and ring, because all of our... Yeah, okay, well, we got him down. Oh, shit. And we're out of mana. Let's drink a mana potion. Ow. Yeah, you deal with them. I don't want to. Good job. Oh no! We lost Gothic! Emerald. Light mana potion, light healing potion. Let's go ahead and use that. Standard healing potion. Alright. And literally nothing else. Okay. Ooh, gold. Literally nothing else picks up other things. Yeah. You go away. Oy. Oh, there it is. There it is. I found it, guys. Get out of here. Okay. I feel like the next thing that really pops up is the darkness. Is that right? Sure. And I don't recall where that quest starts. Hold on. I mean, as long as we're holding that charm, we might as well identify it. Ah, 10% extra gold for monsters. Cool. Actually, I think I'm gonna switch to this guy for these. Like, as much as the other one does more damage, the it's not bad. Cute. I love my Gothic. What does she have right now? She's got +4 to max damage. Okay. So not quite time to switch that up yet. Come here, you cursed bastard. Hey, jumpy little guy. Have some poison. So, interestingly, poison does not stack in this game. Which is really annoying. Because it means if you ever want to make a poison build of anything, it's a bad idea. Terrible, terrible idea. Jeez, I have so many of these. Okay, are these all regular healing potions? Wait.
Thank you.
You take that. What's over here? I've really got to get into town. Okay, a Falchion. 9-17. 12. Alright, let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. 1 to 4. Boo. Boo, you suck. Okay. Wasted a damn. Yeah, Superior Scythe. As funny as that is. Gold. I love gold. Yeah, my voice is... Oh no. I didn't make more tea when I was downstairs. Oh, the arrogance. Thinking that I had enough tea. I think we have to go up, right? I'm guessing we have to go up. Typically... Ah, yeah. Have a slice. Yep. Stupid, bouncy, little frickin'... Yeah. Well, la-di-da. Thank you for feeling much better. Much stronger. Stronger. Thank you for feeling much stronger. Holy... I have no idea what that word was supposed to be, but, yeah, that. Meow. Meow. Poke. 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 Come here. Poke. Poke. That's not really annoying at all. I thought I picked up some... I thought I saw something that was... Maybe not. Huh. Interesting. I was gonna move away from this spell, but honestly, not bad. Poke. That was not very successful. Poke. Let's go. What are you? Combat shrine. Cool. My skills in combat are increased. I really wish he would pick up friggin' like in most of these types of games, if you get a partner like that, they'll just pick up gold and things for you. Running away. Oops, road identified. Hello. Hello, my pretty. Nice. Yeah, that's kind of why I like it, because ooh, 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 ooh. Waypoint. Just the
Hello.
Blessings to you.
oh. Like that swing of it is kind of nice. Let's see. 20 to attack rating plus 2 to okay. Yeah, that's better. Extra gold. That's that one. Okie dokie. We can go ahead and do that, and then we can go ahead and drop off the cash money and this thing. I guess we'll just keep stacking these because eventually we'll turn these into full rejuves. Right, that's the end goal for these things, is to just do a whole set of full rejuves. I don't know, what do you think? Do I have too many potions? I'm not sure. Oh boy. Okay.
Tell me your troubles.
No. I don't believe I will, thank you though. Ooh. This way and that way and this way and that way.
Ask and learn.
What does he have? He's got those, right? He's got staffs. Oh, he's got the thingies. Okay, crystal sword. Ooh. So I mean, like, are daggers the ultimate, or dirks the ultimate weapons for us? I don't know. I don't know. Like, whatever. Alright, we need to get out of here and get to the next area. Oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? Oh my god. Come here, you cat. Damn fire throwing cat. What the hell? Ah, toilet paper. Always good to have some toilet paper. That's good to know. Thank you. Thank you, phone. I needed that. Not. Okay. And there we go. Woo. Fire. Shiny. Or ice damage. Oh my goodness. Take damage, you. Damage. Damage. Thingy. I'm doing well with the insults today. I think I am 10 out of 10 on the insults. And that is not the way that I need to go. Could be in that corner that we missed, or it could be down there. Which one? Let's go down here first, I guess. Wow. Come on, let's go. Let's go. We can do it. Let's go. We can walk. We can walk. We can walk. Like a freaking toddler. Come on. We can walk. I don't want to have to carry you. Alright, alright. Yep, yep. What do we got? What do we got? This is just increased durability 15 and socketed 1. Whereas... Whoa. This is 46. That's not 32. Yeah, it's better to give me that. It's better to give me that. It's better to give me that. Yes, 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 yes. You do that. You put that to good use. I think this is the way out. It is not the way out. Fine. See if I care. Gold, 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 gold. Where the flipping poo? There it is. Thank you. Zephyr Oasis. Eat, slice, you freaking. I guess we'll just open this and chug it. Go ahead and chug us some potion. We just seem to be happy to do. There are never any side effects of potions. Why aren't there side effects? Seems like something there would be. Like, oh god. Oh no. Alright, this we want to do the throwing. Yep. Ah, run away. Yep. You absorb all of that electricity. Thank you. I knew you would come in handy for something. Ow. Go away. What do we get? A large axe. That is not the kind of weapon that is super useful for me. It is, however, pretty big. Guess we could pick up one more rejuve, right? We want to keep building towards the full set of full rejuves. Jeez. Oh, I hate these guys. I hate lightning enchanted baddies. That is so annoying. Damn. I would like to note that Gothic still tanks all of that. And I would be dead. Okay. I figured one of these was over here. Get the spawn point. Hey, I said click. Extract codex. Is that the next one? Oh, hold on. Defense 6, right? So this is defense. Oh, okay. So this is an old book, and then it goes to a codex. Fascinating. Alright. We don't want to keep that. No. We don't want the crap. And here we go. Time to go to the Magus lair. Let's go. Let's go. So the nice thing is that the electricity tends to hit the walls pretty quickly, and so that's helpful. Since we're sort of boomeranging up and back down the single line, this could actually be a fairly effective spell. I guess we're going this way. go. Oh, these guys. Yeah, see? That's cool. Guess we might as well chug this as while it's on the ground there. Why not? But hey, I said. There we go. Man, I love that sound. Okay, I guess we can try going this way. This is a freaking maze. And of course we get poisoned. Why wouldn't we get a poison? Poisoning, stupid. Yep. Yep. Okay, that was fun. Where are the rest of the lightning guys? There's got to be more. No? Those guys. How did that miss? There we go. Oh, that's so funny. I guess we'll check that too. Alright. As long as we're still doing all these things, let's go. Ah, frick! Lightning assholes, I hate you. I hate you. Yep. Okay. Having helper monkeys is nice. Having helper monkeys is nice. You are my helpers. Level 2! Alright, we do want to find the, not town portal thing, checkpoint, whatever it's called. I forget what they're called. Okay. Go this way. Hello? Oh, they're there. I was like, feels like no one's here. I don't believe we're that lucky. He wants to go this way. Oh, that was where we came from. Dude, that's where we came from. Nice try. Damn it. Poison. Yeah. Ooh. Eldrune. Very nice, very nice, very nice. And a rejuve. We'll go ahead and chug that rejuve. Not. Alright. So. New stat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Meow, meow. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Meow, meow. Sorry, my phone just went meow, meow. Okay, that was like, you know, whatever. Todd the Necromancer continuing his thing. Yeah, I gotta figure out what I want to dump these points into, but I'm really not sure. Oh yeah, nice. So we can do Psychic Crack, Warp, or Blade Warp and Psychic Ward. So now, right. So now if we do, let's say, change this to F2, that's F4, right? So if I go F4, nice. If I do F2, oh, that's very helpful. That could also be super dangerous because you just like warp yourself into, oops. Ah. Well, someone's having a seizure. You just freaking warp yourself into Whoa! Hello. Ooh, chest. Not very helpful. That's a little better. We got a ring. We got a ring. We got that. We got a healing potion that we can chug. We are running out of room again. I'm just gonna throw that down there. Cool. Oh, that was nice. Oop. You guys fight it out. I don't want to deal with that. That seems like a pain in the butt. Huh? No, Gothic! Gothic! Morningstar, eh? Morningstar, huh? That's what you got?
I can't carry anymore.
I know, that's because someone has too many potions in their freaking thing. Okay. We can drop one of these. Drink that. Ding. Ding. Okay. Now here's the question. Is the Morningstar one? Yeah, there we go. Alright. Let's identify our shenanigans. And then let's sell our shenanigans. Ooh my. Actually use this. Okay, so this adds 3 to demonic mastery and 6 poison over. Okay. Let's see. +1 to energy. We don't care about. Maximum stamina. We don't. These we can. Ooh. Do we? Valid question. Do we? Oh no, I have a sneeze that got stuck. Oh god. Oh no. Oh. Alright, inventory character. Now let's look at this. So attack is 21 to 44, 30 to 68. Okay, yeah, that's probably worth it. Probably worth the switch over. Oh, incredible. This is a high end. I didn't realize RAL was that high. Okay. Well, let's try it out. We'll see how this works. I would like to add we are now holding a mace in the purple. The magical purple of magicalness. Oh. I mean, alright, that's fair. It does do quite a bit more damage. Uh-oh. Whew. Do not need any more toilet paper. We are maxed out of toilet paper. Okay. Okay. So around this way. Let's try the next one up. Let's try the next one up. Ooh, jeez. Wait, is it still a knife? That's really funny. They didn't change it so it would the throwing thing would change as with the what's it called? With whatever weapon you have, it's still just a knife. Boo. That would have been so easy to be so cool. Oop. Oh, I'm running away. Yep, you deal with that. I will sit back here and chug me a potion. Money? Don't mind if I do. Uh-huh. 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 Ah, Gothic. You are wonderful. So the reason why that's a little silly is because... Ooh, pizza. Where you fight? Oh, yeah. Silly frickin'. Ow! I hate electric people. Pizza sounds amazing. Is it homemade or did you order some? Oh, of course, of course. And I take it, well, that's terrible.
I'll put that to good use. I'll put that to good use.
I don't know. Is it Detroit style? Oh, I've now officially had jets, by the way. It's okay. Man, it's not bad, right? For that type of shop, you know, it's not bad. I'm not sure that I you know, the Detroit style pizza just isn't my personal favorite. Like, it's certainly not bad. B likes their garlic bread, which I do agree is pretty good. Oh, that was the way down. So then where's the... Oh, it's gotta be the opposite way. Okay. Yeah, B really likes the garlic bread, and it's pretty good. The garlic bread's good. The pizza, like I said, is not... I'll allow it. Oh, I got freaking auto-modded on something in Run Your stream earlier. I don't even remember what it was. Why is there no town portal thing? Whatever. Yeah. It was like, oh, you know what it was? It was what was so weird. It was, you said uppies, right? You said uppies, and she said no, and I said, Toasty only gets downies. Because, you know, it's the opposite of uppies. And for some reason that sparked a moderation thing. So, don't know why that was the line, but there you go. You pile. I too like to... Yeah, right? Like... I don't know, I just feel bad because didn't realize I had. Maybe there's something there that I've just. Whoa, crap! As I almost die. You know, maybe there's something I don't know. That's entirely possible, and there's a alternate meaning to that term. But I ain't never heard it. I was just trying to be. I was just trying to be like, hey, it's the opposite of uppies. It's downies. Yeah, so, yeah, proudly modded in Run Your Stream. I thought it was pretty impressive. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Yeah, that's like, now that I think of it after the fact, maybe? I have never heard that as a derogatory term for someone with Down syndrome, but I could see how it could be. It just never occurred to me. It also never occurred to me to be derogative to someone with Down syndrome, but that's a separate issue. No! Get away from my goo pile, you stupid bug. My goo. That has a secondary meaning that was unintentional. Pile. My goo pile. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know, man. Don't make no sense to me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to someone else. Not me. Well, I did not mean to. Oh, my Gothic got killed. Happens all the time. You're clearing out some bad guys, and all of a sudden, turn around, Gothic is dead again. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why it got freaking modded, but kind of funny. Apparently, I am a terrible person. Ooh, another rune. Nice. I have to look up the.
I am overburdened.
Skill mill. Is this okay? Which is better, ring or skill? I forget. This is. Please be better. Please be better. That's not really better. 8. That's worse. Literally worse. Literally worse. Defense 60, defense 46. Okay. What the shit is going on in my chat? I look away for 2 minutes. Oh, she could use it.
I'll put that to good use.
Nothing. Yeah. Uh-huh. Nothing, you say. I have my doubts. Not to be trusted. The parry is. Oh, there we go. There we go. And now we just go ahead and kill everything. La 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 la. Time to drink more potions. La 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 la. One of them and one of them, please. Thank you. Gothic is doing his usual Gothic thing of just freaking killing everything. Bonk. Ah! Come here, you. Bonk, bonk. Oh, this is the staff. Man. You're not the cube. I want the cube. You impudent little chatters. Trying to get me banned. No. What's really funny is it ain't gonna be you that gets banned, it's gonna be me. They're gonna be like, this dog is... Man, this dog cannot be trusted. And we'll be like, oh, why did Baron get banned? I don't understand. And then I'll have to turn to you and say, yes, Toast and Mark. Why did Baron get banned? Maybe you can shed some light on this mystery. I mean, that's fair. I did not say that. I'm looking for a shaft. Yeah, shaft. Hole for the dead for the dry, and the dry hill for the cube. So we should have gotten the cube. We passed by the cube and did not pick it up. So it should be in the Halls of the Dead. We're trying to be nice. I can't help it. I get so angsty. A woo. A woo, a twitchy. Actually, here's where we might be able to use this. I'm sorry, Mr. Twitch. Oh, what can I possibly do to make it up to you, a woo? Sorry. What? Can't really do it right, though. Can't really do it justice. Can't really do the woo justice either. But... Woo! Dude, freaking Runyar can do a hell of a woo. It's not something I would have guessed as her capability, but you know, there it is. Oh, for freaking crying out loud. Go away, go away. Ooh, identify. Ooh, ooh. I know. Oh, it's really funny. Now we're here. Like, ooh. Actually, my voice isn't very low. I don't have a gothic-y voice. I have more of like a Reddit mod voice. Actually, a woo comes from a long-standing cultural appreciation of the Japanese, the fine Japanese culture. You know, you wouldn't understand. Ha, 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 ha. Eat mace, you rat fucker. Man, I love the... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. The character, and this comes from the original design of the game, the character that they put into all parts of this, like the fact that you could... One of the traps that you can set in, or that you can trip in this area is like these magical scimitars that attack you, and they're just... I don't know, so cool. Actually, I don't think I have good enough weeb rep. My weeb is pitifully low. My weeb is too low. Yes. Just quite odd. When was the last time you ate? Just out of vague curiosity. I need to stop eating crappy food. I need to, like, start locking in and going back to the gym. So this frickin' school project of mine has just taken every tiny ounce of my attention, and so I haven't, like, gone to the gym. I haven't done all this stuff in weeks. I desperately need to go back to the gym, stop eating like poo. It's just fine opinion, but have you considered mace? That's cool. Ah, yes. You're one of those where you're like, appetite? What's an appetite? I don't understand. I do enjoy me some food. Man, I used to be so healthy. I remember the days when yeah, that's so weird. I remember the days when like my dinner would be I would go for a run. This is when I was living in Georgia. I'd go for a run, and then I'd go to, there was like a local grocery store, you know, that wasn't a chain, and I would pick up a bunch of cut up fruit from the local grocery store and sit on the hood of my car at a parking lot looking out over a bunch of woods, and that's what I would eat. That's what I would do. Long ago are those days. Doop, doop. Doop, 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 doop. Where is this bloody cube of mine? There it is. Yeah.
I can't carry any.
Are you kidding? Horodra cube. Oh, because I picked up a freaking large axe. Okay. Scroll of toilet paper, and back to Let Gleam go. Yeah.
You have quite a treasure there.
You'll have quite a treasure there in that Roderick Cube. Okay, what do we get? Oh, another shitty thing. Okay, so now we can start having fun. A 1, a 2, a 3. Convert. Okay. And now this can go here. 1, 2, 3. Convert. Sweet. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. And transmute. And 1. And 2. And 3. And transmute. And 1 and 2. And up the chain we go to full ruby. I usually always get like perfect, like the highest level of all of the gems. I never end up using them for anything. I'm always like, but if I socket this item, then the gems are gone forever. And what if I need them? Again, these are things that I say at the very end of the game. I'm like, but what if I need them? For something, apparently. And a doop, and a doop, and a kabloo. Okay, that's a little better. And now we can do like this. 1, 2, 3. I think this should transmute. Nope, nope, it doesn't. 1, 2, 3. Does that do it? Nope. No, this does it. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Full rejuve. Now we're talking. 1, 2, 3. Full rejuve. 2, 3. Full rejuve. And 1. Enjoy your dinner. Yeah. I hope you love that pineapple on the pizza. Thank you so much. Thank you for showing up and hanging out. I really appreciate it. I really do. I think we can stash some of these over here. I don't think we need these all here. Okay. That we're gonna sell. 12. Okay, this we're gonna sell. Perfect.
Good day.
Trade repair. Go away. Go away. Cool. Wonder what does our thing do? It's got defense 2, culture plus 5, plus attacking. Okay. His defense. That doesn't actually increase the defense. Okay, so those are crap. So we need to find good ones. Alrighty then. Oh, we didn't get the freaking waypoint for Bar Oasis. Ah, damn it. Oh, we have to all the way to Bar Oasis again. Which is just right up here, but still, it's the thought of doing it that counts. That is a... Yep, come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. Here we go. Hello? Well, this is the area we already cleared, so let's move up this direction. Hello there, Scatter. That's a fine opinion you have there, but can I interest you in brain damage? Yeah. We're actually going to go back to... Nope. What was it? Cleave, I think it was. Cleave. Ain't no damage like brain damage. I honestly don't know what the flip is going on in my head half the time. Great. You guys take care of this. This seems like a you problem and not a me problem. Outstanding. See, I knew you guys could do it. That's teamwork. That's what that is. Pure teamwork. You're gonna have to do the tossy toss. Damn. I hate these guys. Apparently they're pretty good for... Nice. Apparently they're pretty good for experience, but I hate those guys. Those guys are easy. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-da, I was walking through the desert one fine day. Yeah, man, I have questions. Ooh, another small charm. Let's see what this one does. 1d6 lightning damage and lightning resist 4. Nice. Very fun. Lightning resist is actually somewhat useful here. Now, where the fluck are we frickin' going? This way, maybe? Is there downward stairs here? There are downward stairs here. Haha. Oh, God. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that so much. Ooh, okay. More than that. Ow. I hate that. Ow, I hate that. Yeah! Ow! Flippin' frickin' electrified piece of junk. You should be sending Marty McFly home. Not zapping me. I hate these guys. I hate these guys. Ooh, Chip Sapphire. Ow. Ow. Away. Ow. Yep. Smack. Smackerino. Smack-a-da-doo. Ooh, Eldrune. Nice. Appreciated. A mana shrine. We don't really need. Now. Ooh. Scroll. I guess we can use the minor killing. We might as well. Two-handed sword. Ooh. Gold. Why are these always the guys that spawn here? Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, they would be just fine if they didn't have the lightning enchantment on all of them. Like, even if just some of, you know, like their bosses or whatever had it, and not all of them had it, that would be fine. I would not mind that. Mm-hmm. Take a smack to the head. Ba da 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 da. What was that? Man, they added like cool volumetric lighting and stuff, and sometimes it makes no friggin' sense. Now look how advanced it is. Oh. Ah. Bop. Bop. Ah, you fuckers. I hate you all. Let me just bop you. Bop. Bop. There we go. Break the jug. Bop the bird. Remember, always bop the bird. Can't even say bolt the bird because I'm not using lightning based damage. I mean, I kind of am, but you know, not like literally literally firing a lightning bolt at them. How did that little bird fly around with scale mail? I'm just curious. Cool. It's like, how did... Sometimes they'll have, like, breastplates in a jug. Like, I have questions about how that works. The hell kind of jugs do you have? If you had a big jug, how do you get it in the jug? Phrasing. Oh, yeah. Well, she actually, it swallows armor to crush up its food in its gullet. Gizzard, in its gizzard. Is the exit down this direction? It might be. Hello. Say hello to my little friend. Lost City. Lost City, yeah. Waypoint. All the waypoint to 55.
Darken the day.
There
but
we go.
My deeds will not be hidden.
Yeah. We know you're so cool and brooding. Oh my god.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, faster cast rate. I already have that plus, so this is strictly worse than that. And this we don't need. So. This goes here. This goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here. We have 3 of anything? We do not. Okay. Okay. Talking. Oh, I'm so close to the next level. All right. We're gonna keep going until we get next level, and then we'll move on to something else. So something happened in Run Your Stream today. That I feel I must make a... Oh, geez. That's what we're looking for. Thank you. Yeah, so, thank you. Take that, and that, and that, and that. Nice hat. Dude, I like your hat. Very nice hat. What? What the? What the? Alright, yeah, right? Just like, I can't handle it anymore. Oh my. I guess we could pop that up to 40, so at least it's somewhat... no, so let's actually do... So it does absorb damage, but like... From attacks and can stun melee attackers. Okay, it just... Stun length 9. Like... Cleave is still good. Just... I need better attack. Okay, what does this do? Hexes your weapon to warp enemies, creating a chance that they will erupt when hit. That's funny. Eldritch Blast. Blast hex enemies with creating damage. No. And attack so it's mirror duplicates your weapon. Right, so we eventually want to get there. But the Blade Warp is not... Like, it's the kind of thing you only need to throw 1 point in, because it allows you to warp, and then after that you don't really care. I mean, this does bump that and the attack rating, but it also bumps the mana cost. This does what? Weapon requirements by 16, straight, okay, attack rating up by 5, and damage up by 4. I guess we'll do this. Okay. Now we have to go. Ow! Go back to Lutger Lane and freaking rehire lady that just went. Eh.
Yes, citizen.
Yes. Rehire. Although, honestly, these guys are freaking baller. Specifically the prayer ones are helpful. That gives life heal, which is the thing that my build is missing. But I don't want to get rid of her. She's so cool. She's like so freaking awesome. Okay. Our current one is Cold Resist 12. Do we have anything but... Yeah, that's your cast rate is better. Okay, you go away. Neato. Yum, 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 yum. Let's do this. See, eventually you just get entire slots full of the full rejuve potions, and then you just use those on bosses. All right. Okay. I'm done with this game. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Whew. I think we play a round or two of where'd it go? Wait for it. Wait for it. War Thunder, otherwise known as Explode Yourself in Tanks. Hello? So let's play some tank suicide. So we're gonna have to do as follows. We've got to change the game capture from Diablo 2 to from Diablo 2 to Aces? Is this it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, and now the audio, we want to go from Diablo 2 to War Thunder. There it is. All right. Beautiful. We're all set up and ready to go. Who's ready to detonate? No, come on. Okay, 15%. All right. For 20 missions. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Nice shit. Oh, that's just crap. Crapola. Oh man, we are actually low on our ions. Okay, let's see. What are we trying to get? We are trying to get. What are we researching? Right. We're researching the 90mm gun cannon, dude. This guy. Okay, so it's up to 155. It's gonna be nice. And we'll get this guy later. He has 90mm, which is better than 75mm, but anyway. Okay, so we need 24,000. Boost. And boost. We'll see if I regret that. To battle! Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I've got the wrong guy up. I've got the wrong guy. We need our tanker. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Also, we need options, sound. Okay, we do have volume. Let me know if this volume is coming across. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Yes. And now we proceed to suck at this game. To be fair, we're at like... We're at like shitty vehicles for this BR. And the only reason we're in this BR is because of one of our tanks. And so that kind of tends to get us in trouble. But, oh well. I don't remember seeing this. Is this a new map? I do not remember this map at all. Okay. Alright, so I'm guessing that if we go... I'm just kind of following these dudes, but I don't know if it's actually a good idea. Let's go back this way. This is a really big flippin' map. Can we see down to where the bad guys are? This does not zoom in very well. I presume they're like over here. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely over there. So if we just sort of sneaky up here, can we see them? Potentially. So they're still over there. So they're theoretically over here somewhere? Well, that guy's not over there anymore. Okay, so presumably they're just hiding behind this hill. They took A, what? I feel like I should be able to see these guys. I love how this simultaneously has really terrible zoom and a really terrible field of view. I don't feel like that's how optics work, but you know, what do I know? When your optics are so bad, they break the laws of physics. Okay, so they're over there. So I wonder if we can sort of peek and... Oh. They're like over here. Yeah, they're like right over there. Like right over there. This non-pen thing is really getting old. We've been hit from where? Ah! Over there. Okay. You want to poke your nose out again? It'd be really fun if you did. Man. I feel like I could have had him. Again, how are your optics this bad? How are your optics this bad? It's like sitting back there behind the... If we were to say, snack up this way, can we ford the river? I don't know if we can ford the river. No! Oh, I knew that sticking my nose out was a bad idea. Urgh. Oh, an IS-2 showed up there. Yeah, we'll see. He's fording the river. So clearly that's possible. That is a thing that can happen. I don't know. What's the most likely to give me something useful? I guess we could try with the M6. So slow. If we can find a place to snipe with this guy, maybe? And having the artillery is nice. Not that the artillery really does a whole lot, but, you know. In theory, the artillery is nice. More importantly, this thing's fast. Man. I feel like I used to be good at shooting down airplanes. Anyway. Look down, please. Thank you. This guy's got some actual zoom, which is nice. And there's another frickin' aircraft. We're just gonna get sniped off by some aircraft at some point, I'm sure. So where is this guy? Is there someone sitting over here? But where? Like, if I stick my nose out here, am I gonna, like, insta-die? Not. This way. Okay. Now we're talking. Now we got some zoom. It's like right over here. Oh, it's behind that rock. And the other guy is over there, but he just blew up. There's someone over there, but that's not shooting range. So, oh good, his wing's falling off. About bloody time that his wing fell off. Don't mind me, I'm just going past someone's head. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, okay. He spontaneously died. Cool. I appreciate him spontaneously dying. That is pretty frickin' baller of him. Move. Yay, we made it through. Watch. Usually as soon as we have some positive thing happen, that's when we insta-die. Usually. Not always, but usually. So he just got evaporated. That guy was probably on my team. Cool, 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 cool. I'm so glad that we just... Yeah. Alright. Please do something. Please take out his cannon or something. Okay. Okay, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where did dude go? Where did dude go? There he went. This is just like not doing anything. Which is comedic in its own way. Yeah! We killed someone! Woo! Ah, we're about to die. Run away! Run away! Oh yeah. Killed a bad guy. Mission failed. Who cares? Killed a bad guy. Doesn't matter. Nice. Nice. Doesn't matter. Kill that guy. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. What did we just? Yep. Tracks. Cool. Transmission, I guess. Finish. And then what did we got the horizontal drive for our Tankalank. 35, yeah. Do we do adjustment of fire? Or suspension? Suspension damping. This is usually helpful. Fire prevention. Always a good plan. All right. Well, we had us a successful little round, if I do say so myself. By anyone's count, awful round. By my count, I'll call it a win. Oh, man. Lovely. This is APCBC, right? And this is AP. Okay. Just curious. Curious. Yeah, hold on. What? I have a question for you, Mr. Streamlabs chat. Why are you not logged in? Hold on one second. I have a question for you, Mr. Streamlabs chat. Streamlabs, why are you not logged in? Wow. Amazing. I can actually see chat now. Marvelous. All right, where was I? Right. I was about to explode. Okay. Yeah, it is an absolute win. Clearly, by any count. Except, you know, the game. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. Oh my god, you can do it. You can do it. Come on, Bubby. Come on, Bubby. There we go. You got it. See, sometimes it just needs a little encouragement. You know, its ego is a little fragile. You just gotta help it out. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. No, sir. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Ah, it's not very helpful. Ah, it's not very helpful at all. It's in fact the opposite of helpful. Oh, dude, there's a dude. Damn it. That was a poor shot. That was a poor shot. That was a bad shot. That was my bad. That was my bad. That was... Fuck. Oh. Don't worry about it. No one should be worried at all. You go, fast vehicle. Jump that hill. Where the fuck am I going? Alright. I'll get there eventually. Don't find me. On an unrelated note, has anyone seen my walker? Alright. The worst optics known to man. Of course they have. Why wouldn't they? So there's no right there. It's just like, there's a... Oop. Can I see this dude? I cannot see that. Alright. That is just one of our friendlies. Meow, 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 meow. Ha. Damn it, I missed. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. I think his... Really? 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 Bloody hell. Hit. Okay. His ammo is like further down. Oh shit. Ah, ricochet. Yeah. Bastard. Non-penetration. Of course it's a non-penetration. Why would you be able to penetrate armor? You're only an armor-piercing shell. Okay. Well, someone else killed him. Do I at least get like a assist or something? Oh shit. There he is. That was a non-pen. Cool. Ah, crap. That was someone else, too. I don't even know where they were from. It's fine. It's fine. In no way was I in a crappy tank surrounded by bad guys. Everything is awesome. Everything is great if you're part of a team. Everything's awesome. Alright. Actually, can we go this way? This thing at least has some speed to it. It's fun. Essentially, they said, what if instead of armor, we made it ever so slightly faster? Not much faster, mind you, but just a little bit. Hi, what are you running from? Oh. I don't know what he was shooting at. I don't see anything over there. Doesn't mean there isn't anything over there. I just don't see it. Oh, who the fuck? Alright. What are you shooting at? I think he's just shooting at that corpse. I honestly do. Dude's dead and gone. Oh, he's shooting at that back there. Take a random shell. There we go. Alright. Behind a building where I belong. If you could reload faster, that would be wonderful. Thank you. What the hell hit us? What hit us? Oh, you're using that flag. You're a douche. I don't care if you're playing Germany, but if you got that flag on your tank, yeah, you're being a douche. There is a unfortunately strong, shall we say, set of people who really idolize a certain right-wing Germanic party on this game. Yeah. You'll run across people who have interesting usernames, and you're like, oh, you're an asshole. It's like, pretty sure that that whole idea lost. There was a war about it. Everyone was invited. God damn, that guy's fast. Move out of my way. Okay, so someone spotted something over there. Oh. I tried to phase through bricks. Okay, have a wonderful sleep, and thank you for hanging out with me doing stupid crap. I really appreciate it. Get some good rest. Get some sleep, man. Get some real sleep. Thanks again for stopping in. Okay, so that's burned out tank. That's not. Which way do we go? Let's try sneaking around this. Ooh, hello. Hello. Ah! Thanks for just aiming into the sky. I appreciate it. Nope. He's further away than that. I think that's it. Nope, that's a tank. That was too far. Alright. That was not quite too far enough. Nice. Non-pen, of course. Aw, he one-shot us. Dude, this gun is terrible. Oh my god. Can't stand it. Oh. The 75 is just useless at this BR. Absolutely freaking useless. Of course, this tank is just waiting to be 50 called. Oh, sorry. Didn't know you were backing up. What are you doing? Ow. I'm gonna hide behind this guy's corpse. Do we see anyone? Okay. Alright. And we're gonna go this way. Hide behind this corpse. What are you spotting, dude? Hold on one second. Oh, there's a bad guy. Where'd he go? Or is that a good guy? No, it's a good guy getting shot by a bad guy. Where's the bad guy? There's the bad guy.
Panther, 12 o'clock, range, 600.
Did not hit him.
Up, up, up!
Oop, there he is. Nice. Nice. Someone was shooting at us. Someone in War Thunder was shooting at us. What? That doesn't make any sense. We don't get shot in this game. We don't instantly explode in this game. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, he decided to fly into the ground. That is always a valid option. I guess we'll just kind of see if we can move in a little without insta-dying. Don't really have huge faith in that, but yeah, it's worth a shot. I wonder if we can get over this. Okay, that's good. This seems like a bad place to be. Maybe that's just me. Am I gonna sit here anyway? Yeah, for a little bit. Am I gonna get blown up? Yeah, possibly. What if we cut across this way? Sort of loop around over here. Yeah! I survived! Okay, dokie. Arctic Choke. Well, we have an ad starting in a minute 50 anyway, so I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you to everyone who hung out for one or both parts of this stream. It was a lot of fun. We had our mathy times, we had our explodey times, we slapped some baddies in the head with a floating slapper mace. That's the word, mace, with a floating mace. So again, thank you so much for doing that. Now what I need to do is to see if anyone is hanging out. Like, there's the big creators, but there's no point in trying to. In fact, a lot of them probably have raids turned off. Check some. Let's see, categories. No, how about just browse? Okay, there we go. You'll do science and technology. What is this one? Just out of curiosity. What you guys doing? What you guys doing there? Okay. What are you? Ooh. Well, that's neat. They're doing something cool. Let's try raiding them. Do we have anyone left to raid with? Not really. Okay. Not worth it then. All right. Well, I'm just gonna stream. You guys have a wonderful night. I